What food is this?
Gari.
Gari and what? Hey, Gari and soup. This is the first time I'm hearing of this kind of food. Gari and soup.
By the time these test results arrived on the 6th of February, the rice had been distributed to the schools on the 1st and 2nd of February. And then guess what? This laments letter that they are sharing to media houses, saying that even for the distribution, they got permission. Have you paid attention to the date? February 9, when the rice had already been illegally sent to the schools. On the 1st and 2nd of February, they were now applying to the FDA on the 9th of February. That's why I say this matter, we need a National Commission of Inquiry, because FDA is complicit. The National Food Buffer Stock Company is complicit. Remember, the rebagging was being done in their facility. You have the Ministry of Education, complicit. They were informed about this, according to the FDA investigative report. Then they pretended they didn't know, feigned ignorance. When I first put out this expose, they didn't take steps to protect our children placed under their care. They owe a duty of care.
What food is this? What food is this? Huh?
Gari.
Gari and what? Hey, Gari and soup. Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing of this kind of food. Gari and soup.
That's why I say this matter, we need a National Commission of Inquiry, because FDA is complicit. The National Food Buffer Stock Company is complicit. Remember, the rebagging was being done in their facility. You have the Ministry of Education, complicit. They were informed about this, according to the FDA investigative report. Then they pretended they didn't know, feigned ignorance. When I first put out this expose, they didn't take steps to protect our children placed under their care. They owe a duty of care to these children. They did not take steps as the ministry responsible for the protection of our children. So this matter, we need a National Commission of Inquiry, and somebody should be agitating for the mass screening of our children. You don't joke with this. Have you seen the videos of the Muchocho rice at the warehouse? I have put out those videos. I'll share them with you. I mean, even on the face of it.
Can we move on? I see. No, but it's important. So in the end, what the FDA's position has been on this matter, and I need to bring it in because they spoke 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you're privy to the position that they have put out earlier, that they required Lamens to provide further evidence from the manufacturer to justify any additional extensions, which they said Lamens applied for that extension of best before date, and they took them through the processes. And once they qualified to have the date extended, the FDA said they did that, and eventually also gave them that go-ahead to have the rice distributed. They then took notice of the no expiry date on this particular rebagged rice. And that was what they were fined for, not the wholesomeness of the rice. But then the fundamental question that is raised here is what the FDA report itself, the lab report itself says. And at what point was that considered in the scheme of things?
So
for the FDA.
So look, what the FDA should have done in this matter, upon the tip of 20th December 2023, they should just have followed their original roadmap, the internal memo, which I read to you, of 29th December, where they said they will dispose of the rice and make sure that this company doesn't engage in this any longer. That's what they should have done. They should not have pampered this company, brought them close, gave them all of what they want. Look, this business of shelf life extension, when you listen to even the FDA officials themselves, Ministry of Education officials themselves, what did they tell us? They say that, you know, There's a difference between best before date and expiry. Everybody knows that. It's right. It's basic. It's not rocket science.
Just for the benefit of our...
And then they add that, you know, the difference between best before date and expiry is that for expiry is very contaminated, so poisonous you can't consume. But for best before date, what it means is that the quality has reduced. You've heard them. Mm-hmm. Quality has reduced. It's not at its optimum in terms of its nutritious value and all of that. The question that we should ask, if these people had any respect for us, the Ghanaian people, why should our children be served food? Let me just go with the argument. Let you put the 6th February FDA result, which shows that there was insect infestation and high fat acidity. And let's go with the FDA argument. And our colleagues in the NPP who are parroting this. Why should any government be serving its children with food that now has inferior quality? Food that you cannot guarantee is optimum nutritional value. Why? Why can we be so callous and cruel? Look, in other countries, even the best before food in great shape, they are passing legislation to enhance its nutritional value because there's a link between nutrition and high IQ. Michelle Obama, what did she do in all her 8 years? Her campaign as First Lady, what she took up, her course that she took up as First Lady, was how to enhance the food of American school children. You know they provide one hot meal a day at lunchtime. She passed, she ensured that there was legislation to improve the nutritional value. So how is it that in Ghana, we seem okay with our officials telling us that, oh, we extended the best before. When you extend best before, you can't guarantee the quality. The nutritional value reduces. But let your children eat it like that and accept it. Meanwhile, this company has not been made to refund what we paid for. The millions of Ghana cedis we paid for in this contract is for us to have top quality rice. And it is so mind-boggling. It's absolutely shocking.
What I hear...
that our officials can look at us in the face and tell us all of this hogwash. The alert was that at the National Food Buffer Stock Company storage facility in Bokrom, Kumasi, can you believe that? Not at the company's warehouse or some hideout, somewhere removed, and they were engaged in this criminal enterprise. At a state facility.
That's a buffer stock.
The Buffer Stock Company storage facility in Kumasi. At the time the alert came, out of the 22,000 50 kg bags of Moshosho rice from India, they had rebagged 15,000.
As of this 20th December?
As of 20th December, they had rebagged 15,000. Now, all of us, please, just cut out a lot of the attacks on me and the attempts to really just fudge these issues and muddy the waters. If you have nothing to hide, if you mean well, you care about the health of our children, why were you secretly, clandestinely, without recourse to the laws of our country, rebagging rice? And what were they doing in the rebagging? The Moshosho rice from India, which had met its best before date, December 2023. Remember, this was going on in December 2023, so it had met its best before date. They were transferring the rice into new bags and have published their pictures. Your viewers can put it out. I have the evidence here, which I'll leave all of these documents with you. So you have Moshosho rice. This is the original label. 25% broken white rice, double polished Sortex, Indian rice. Origin, India. Production, December 2021. Best before, December 2023. Net weight, 50 kg. Batch number, 12/2021. 4. Registration number, FDA CE 20701. That was the original bag as imported. Moshosho rice from India. Then, criminally, they transferred the rice into a new bag which had this inscription, Sidao, ECOWAS. ECOWAS. I mean, can you believe that?
Sidao, ECOWAS.
ECOWAS. Regional Food Security Reserve. Net weight, 50 kg. Origin, Ghana.
So in this rebagging, the name of the rice was changed. The country of origin
changed. And to make matters worse, the new bags did not contain any expiry date or best before date.
So you mean the one with the Sidao?
The ECOWAS bags, yes.
That's the repackaged.
The repackaged
didn't have any expiry date.
No expiry date.
But
and the origin changed from India to Ghana. Can you believe that? Now, what do our laws say? I have here the Public Health Act 2012 at 851. Section 103 provides a person who manufactures, labels, packages, sells, or advertises food in a manner that is false, misleading, deceptive, or misbranded as regards its character, nature, value, additives, substance, quality, quantity, composition, merit, or safety, commits an offense. Our laws are very, very clear. Very, very clear on this matter. You come to section 106. It says a person shall not manufacture a food for sale unless the food is manufactured under the supervision of a person with appropriate knowledge and qualification who can ensure the purity, quality, and wholesomeness of the food. So, multiple laws have been breached violently in this matter. If you read the LI 1541, the Ghana Standards Board, Food, Drugs, and Other Goods, General Labeling Rules, 1992, it's very clear that no person shall offer for sale, distribute, import, or otherwise dispose of pre-packaged food or drug unless the food or drug is marked or labeled with the name of the food or drug, a list of ingredients in the food or in respect of drugs, active ingredients showing the amounts present in the drug, an indication of the minimum durability in the form of date of manufacture, an expiry date, or best before date, or use by date in respect of food, or 2, date of manufacture and expiry date in respect of drugs. So, Act 851 has been violated, LI 1541 has been violated. So when the Chief of Staff says that, oh, Ghanaians should ignore all of what I'm saying is all untrue, is mere propaganda, the height of recklessness, of irresponsibility. You are Chief of Staff. You are to coordinate government machinery. Invite all of these institutions. You don't do that. You don't even look at the evidence. You don't look at the documents, the facts. And then you hurriedly jump into such reckless conclusions. You are a mother. You should care about the health of these children.
She says propaganda and rumor mongering has no place in education.
How can all of this be rumor mongering? So we are building up. So Alfred, we know the criminality that was going on at the buffer stock storage facility. Please, let me emphasize that. And so far in this discussion, the buffer stock company has not offered any concrete explanation on why they went into this criminal conspiracy, why they permitted the company, Laments Africa Investments, to use its storage facility in Kumasi for this cruel, callous act. They have been left off the hook. They have not been sanctioned. The board chair, Nana Boachi, is all over the place, saying that this is propaganda. The CEO, Mr. Abdul Wahab is busy campaigning in Pusiga as the NPP parliamentary candidate. And do you know that this law, Act 851, requires that all storage facilities of food must be registered. The National Food Buffer Stock Company storage facility in Kumasi, the FDA found out that it is not registered.
The FDA did the investigation.
They did the investigation.
And they found out that this warehouse that the repackaging and rebagging was done has not been certified for storage of food.
Absolutely. Can you believe that?
Buffer Stock Company. Do you have that letter from the
Can you believe that? I have the report here. Yes.
I see.
It is signed by the regional head, John Laye Odai Tete.
Regional head of who?
Of the FDA, Ashanti region.
Indicating that
yes.
the warehouse
it says, report on a preliminary investigation on the alleged unauthorized rebagging of rice at the National Buffer Stock Company. Let me just read through quickly. It says the Ashanti Regional Office of the Food and Drugs Authority received an alert on 20th December 2023 about a repackaging exercise which had not been authorized by the FDA, being carried out at the storage facility of the National Buffer Stock in the Ashanti region. A team of officers were dispatched to the said location to ascertain the veracity of the alert. Let me quickly go to the findings. The findings outlined below were arrived at during preliminary investigation at the storage facility, as well as a meeting held with the Deputy Education Minister, Honorable John Intim Fojo. So this is quite revealing. Remember the Minister of Education, after my expose, said they didn't know anything about this and that they were now going to investigate. The FDA says in this report that Reverend John Intim Fojo was contacted. The Ministry of Education knew about this. They could have stopped the redistribution of this rice as far back as January this year. They didn't. So the Ministry of Education is complicit. They have serious questions to answer. Let me continue with this report. It says that, and two representatives of the importer, Lamens Investments Africa Limited, in person, namely Eli Dogbe, Operations Manager, and Simon Ojei, the Ashanti Regional Coordinator. Now, note that Simon Ojei is one of two directors of Lamens, the notorious Lamens, which had in 2021 been indicted by the Auditor General. I have the Auditor General's report.
The Auditor General's report in 2021 indicted Lamens.
Indicted Lamens.
For what exactly?
On two grounds. Distributing unwholesome food and undersupplying. So we're not getting value for money.
In 2021?
In 2021, yes.
Which Auditor General's report?
This is the report of the Auditor General on the public accounts of Ghana, pre-university education institutions for the financial year ended 31st December 2021.
I see.
And paragraph 608, supply of unwholesome food items. In controversy of Section 52 of the PFM Act 2016, Act 921, we noted that supplies of 65 bags of rice in March 2021 to Prisia Huni Valley Senior High and Technical School and 5 cartons of carnation milk to Ansakregua Senior High School by Lamens Ventures were found to be unwholesome at our time of the audit in September, though the expiry date on the product was October 2021. As a result, there's a risk that the items will be served to students in times of food shortage with possible health implications. We recommended to the head of the schools to report the matter to the National Buffer Stock Company for appropriate action to be held accountable for any inappropriate disposal of the items. The question is, why didn't NAFCO act? So, if we had acted in 2021, we would have prevented the 2024 disaster.
And this is the same company?
Same company.
So page 308,
yes.
On the...
Yeah, paragraph 608, page 133. And then when you come to page 142, it talks about how these suppliers, including Lamens, were undersupplying. So even in terms of value for money, we don't get value for money. A notorious entity. And we continued to give all of this company all the privileges in the world. And I'll be coming to that. Let me go back to the FDA investigative report signed by its Ashanti regional head. So it says that the Moshosho rice, 25% broken white rice, with registration number, it provides all of that. The notified party was the National Food Buffer Stock Company. So take note, the National Food Buffer Stock Company awarded a contract, single source, to Lamens. And typical of this government, all the scandals have been putting out. You see hurriedly incorporated companies. This company was incorporated in July 2020, a few days after they single sourced them. give them these contracts, which they are performing abysmally in terms of its quality, in terms of even the quantities. We are not getting the right supplies, they're undersupplying. But back to the FDA findings. It says that the rice was exported from India by Satya Balaji Rice Industries PVT Limited. The facility had been repackaging Moshosho rice from its original yellow 50 kg polypropylene bags, figure 1, into white 50 kg polypropylene bags with the inscription SIDAO ECOWAS, Regional Food Security, figure 2. This is what the FDA found out in their investigations. So I'm not making this up. Now, whilst the best before date on the Moshosho rice was December 2023, there was no date on the new bags being used for the repackaging. Additionally, the country of origin, India, had been changed to Ghana, thus concealing the identity of the rice. The repackaging exercise was carried out without FDA's approval nor supervision. Then the report continues. The storage facility had neither been licensed for storage nor repackaging. So this is the point I was making. The storage facility had neither been licensed. Are you aware, Alfred, that as we speak today, despite all of this uproar, this upheaval, this brouhaha, the National Food Buffer Stock Company has still not registered its storage facilities? Can you believe that?
The storage facility in the Ashanti region,
yes,
has still not been registered.
Has still not been registered. And these are people purporting to be feeding our children and caring about their health and presenting wholesome food to them. If you have nothing to hide, I mean, what's happening in this country? Can't we respect our laws? Can't we follow standards? Do we know the implications of what we are doing? So NAFCO has serious questions to answer. And I am surprised that people are still keeping their jobs. All those guys at NAFCO should have been fired long ago. Well, Nana Boachi,
on this matter of
the Abdul Wahab, the CEO, should have been fired if we had a president who cares.
On this matter of what the FDA found out, right?
Yes.
On the rebagging and repackaging, in fact, without expiry dates and so on, the FDA says they fined the company 100,000 cedis.
Yeah.
Correct? You have that?
So
and that fine was imposed on Lamens Investment Africa for multiple regulatory violations, not the quality of the Moshosho rice imported from India. So this fine was for what they described themselves in this letter that I have a copy of, that it was an administrative fine of 100,000 cedis for the following regulatory breaches: rebagging the rice without prior FDA approval, conducting rebagging operations in an unlicensed facility, they confirm it themselves,
yes,
and failing to ensure FDA supervision during the rebagging process. So the fundamental question is that in the midst of all of these violations, at what point did the FDA then give them the green light to go ahead?
Brilliant question. Let me just add one more finding. The FDA discovered in this Ashanti Regional Head report that the facility had no qualified or trained person to supervise its activities. The NAFCO storage facility had no trained person, no professional person with expertise at that storage facility.
There was no trained person.
Can you believe that? This is what we are putting millions of our children through.
This is what the FDA said.
And Nana Boachi, Abdul Wahab and co. are all keeping their jobs. Can you believe that? Now let's come to this fine. So remember that the police had moved in 20th December, effected an arrest. Then the calls start coming from above. They are released. There is no prosecution. I have intercepted the original roadmap that the FDA decided to carry out on this matter, dated 29 December 2023. The FDA originally wanted to do 3 things. 1, immediately get the company Lamens to desist from the repackaging exercise. 2, the company was to contact the office of the FDA to initiate the process of safe disposal of the 15,000 bags of rebagged rice. This is an internal memo of the FDA.
Safe disposal.
Safe disposal.
So it was supposed to be disposed
of.
Not consumed.
Not consumed.
That's the FDA.
The FDA original position. And then the fine was supposed to be pay an administrative charge of 150,000 Ghana cedis
But that's
to the
100,000.
Food and Drugs Authority by 12 January 2024. 150,000. This was
100,000.
yes. The question that we have to ask is that who intervened? What happened that the FDA had to then change its position? So the fine was reduced from 150 to 100,000. Then, to me, the most important matter, the disposal, didn't happen.
And it was distributed.
And it was distributed. I have the evidence here of the distribution to the schools, where the schools, in Greater Accra, Presec, my own Presec Legon, my alma mater. Will you believe that on the 2nd of February, before the FDA test results will arrive, because it is important, in order not to, for our viewers to follow. So when the arrest was made on the 20th of December, on the 21st of December, and this is a vital information so that our viewers will follow, the Ashanti Regional Police Command wrote to the FDA and attached samples from the NAFCO storage facility. The letter I have intercepted is here, dated 21st December 2023. It's on the Ghana Police Service letterhead. It's signed by J.J. Boy, the superintendent in charge of crime in the Ashanti region. And it says, Regional Director, Food Drugs Authority, sir, request for assistance. The Regional Criminal Investigation Department, RCID of Ghana Police Service, Kumasi, Ashanti, is investigating a case of being in possession of alleged unwholesome Moshosho bags of rice stocked at the National Food and Buffer Stock Warehouse, Bokrom, Kumasi. Investigations have reached a stage where the sample of the suspected Moshosho rice needs to be examined to ascertain whether or not the rice has expired or good for consumption. I would be very grateful if your outfit could assist in examining the rice and report, counting on your usual cooperation. And it's signed by J.J. Boy. I have followed up, made all my validation, made all my calls. They confirm, the police hierarchy confirms that they wrote this letter, sent the samples. Will you believe, Alfred, that the test results, a copy of which I have here, which arrived on the 6th of February, confirmed that there was insect infestation and high fat acidity.
Insect infestation?
Insect infestation.
Of the same rice?
Of the same rice. But however, Alfred, this is the tragic part. By the time the rice results, test results will arrive from the FDA on the 6th of February, orders have come from above that the rice should be distributed to our schools. And this rice was distributed on the 1st and 2nd. I have here the various headmasters signing for the rice on the 1st and the 2nd of rice. The Greater Accra one was received in Presec, Legon, so all the schools in Greater Accra went for their share. Achimota, Laboni, Chemu, Tema, Secondary, St. Thomas Aquinas, you name them. Then you have the Konongo Dumasi Senior High School. They all received theirs on the 2nd of February. I have here the signed sheets, St. Monica's Senior High School.
One from St. Monica's.
Yeah, Bolgatanga Senior High School. You know, none of these heads would dispute the fact that they received this rice. Indeed, I followed up with checks. It's part of my parliamentary oversight. Therefore,
Bolgatanga Senior High School,
yes,
and St. Monica's.
St. Monica's.
We're going to put that on the screen
yes,
right now. It's Bolgatanga Senior High School.
So Bolgatanga Senior High School. You have St. Monica's Senior High School, you have Presec Legon, you have Konongo Dumasi Senior High School. I remember that some of these are regional distribution points. So when they receive the rice, other secondary schools come pick them up. So you have here all of these schools confirming that by the 2nd of February, they have received the rice. By the 2nd of February. And yet, the test results arrived on the 6th of February, 4 days after.
On the 6th of February? On
the 6th of February. And then the test results, a copy of which I have here, I'll give it to you. Presence of insect, positive. And it says it does not conform to the compliance standards. Then fat acidity is also here. Does not conform to the compliance standard. It's all here.
I see.
And this is food that our children have consumed.
And this is a test that was conducted by the FDA?
By the FDA. And now the FDA is claiming that the food is wholesome. They are contradicting their own 6 February. That is why I say that the FDA itself must be subjected to thorough investigations. The FDA has not covered itself in glory in this matter. Clearly, by their actions, they are complicit in this matter. And I'll show you why. I have even more evidence of their complicity. I have told you about the original roadmap of 29 December, and I've heard the head of legal at FDA confirm on Joy FM that yes, that was the original roadmap. They were to move in to destroy this rice, dispose it off, get the company fined 150,000, and then to make sure that there's no rebagging at that facility because it's not even a registered facility. But all of that has not been done. Now, let's come to the fine, the 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
I have here...
Hold on to that point.
Yeah.
And for the viewers, what's on the screen is the monitoring form of St. Monica's Senior High School when they confirmed the receipt of some 520 bags of the 50 kg repackaged
Moshosho rice from India, which
into plain sacks. It's the product description there is Moshosho rice repackaged into plain sacks.
Yes. So
and location A2 warehouse, St. Monica's Senior High School, Mampong.
Yes.
That's it there.
Yes.
I see. And then there's one from Bogatanga Senior High School as well.
Yes.
Which we'll put on the screen, essentially.
Yes. And then you have St. Monica's, you have Konongo Dumasi, you have Presec Legon, all of that. So
the school heads, when they acknowledge receipt of this, the description they give there, that it was repackaged into plain sacks.
Yes.
This was without the expiry date.
Without the expiry date.
And at least, they wouldn't have known that the country of origin may have changed. But if it was without expiry date, shouldn't that have raised some eyebrows for the heads, the school heads themselves?
I've asked a number of the heads, and they say that they raised it, but, you know, there's this fear that you may lose your job, you may be transferred, so they couldn't push it. And you see, the very tragic part is that even with this so-called extension from December to April, the heads didn't know. And they tell me that this rice is not consumed in 1 week or 1 month. Because sometimes the kids will go on vacation and come back and all that. You know that this double track, I mean, they are at home more than they are at school, you know. So there are some of the schools that way beyond this so-called April extension, they continue to serve the rice. That is how callous, how wicked. And the heads didn't know. They are finding these things for the first time. They didn't know that this so-called extension was to April. I mean, how wicked can people be? How wicked can people be? So May, June, July, August, people have consumed this rice. They didn't know because, and our laws are very clear. You cannot go and redistribute or repackage or share or sell food without clear inscriptions. LI 1541 is very clear. Act 851 is very clear. And now we've jeopardized the health. Look, if this was a country under any decent leadership, caring leadership, the president will have fired all these people and will have immediately ordered screening of all senior high school students. Because the doctors, I have showed this evidence to, the doctors who have seen this FDA test result, they say that, look, this is scary. That the implications of this, eating rice that has insect infestation, they say it can lead to liver cancer. That's what the doctors are saying.
The doctors told you that?
Yes. That continuous eating, because they were serving them continuously. That it is, you don't joke with insect infestation. That it is so dangerous. So if we had any leader who cares, if the Akufo-Addo Bawumia leadership had any modicum of care, of empathy, they will have been ordering mass screening of our children. Before that, all of these people will have been fired. Now let's come to the fine, the so-called fine. Let's come to that.
The 100,000 cedis.
Yes, there's another scandal there. So I hold here in my hands a letter that laments Investment Africa writes. I mean, incredible. Dated 3rd January 2024. Addressed to the Food and Drugs Authority. Attention, Chief Executive Officer. Unauthorized repackaging of Moshosho rice. We refer to the above subject matter, and your letter reference FDA ASHREG ADM CH 23099, dated 29 December 2023. We hereby attach payment receipt for 50,000 Ghana cedis, being half of the administrative charge levied on our company for infractions of sections 1031 and 1301 of the Public Health Act 2012, Act 851. Yours faithfully, and this is signed by David Ajefi-Mensah. Even the fine, Lamens decided, after it had been reduced from 150,000 to 100,000, they decided that they'll pay half. Can you believe that?
And so the 100,000 has not been paid in
Yes,
full?
yes. All the checks I have done, the documents I have, they just paid half, 50,000. This is not even a slap on the wrist. It's a kiss on the cheek. And they've gotten away with it. And this is self-admission that all of what we are talking about is not propaganda. The company itself, in this letter signed by David Ajefi-Mensah, is a director, owner of the company. And he says that, yes, I'm culpable, but I'm paying half.
We'll check that.
Now, will you believe that you had the day 29 December, Alfred? That was the day they were written to. And the letter is signed by the Chief Executive Officer. And Alfred, please take note of this.
The 29th of December.
29th December. A lot of things were happening 29th December. I've already told you about the internal memo, about the original roadmap, that let's go and dispose of this rice. Let's make sure that the company is fined 150,000 and all of that. That didn't happen. That same 29th December is when the CEO of FDA writes to the managing director of Lamens and says unauthorized repackaging of Moshosho rice. And it reads, the Food and Drugs Authority Ashanti Region Office detected through a response to an alert that your company, Lamens Investments Africa Limited, has been repackaging Moshosho rice into different packaging bags with a different brand name, Sidao ECOWAS. The country of origin, India, of the rice has also been changed to Ghana, thus concealing the identity of the rice. Additionally, unlike the original bags, no best before date had been indicated on the repackaged bags. Then the letter continues. And then it says that it should pay an administrative fine of 100,000 Ghana cedis. Now note, it says that you are to note that the Food and Drugs Authority will take other appropriate regulatory measures, including prosecution, to guarantee the health and safety of the general public if you fail to comply. This is signed by the Chief Executive Officer. What date did I say? 29 December 2023. Would you believe, Alfred? And Ghanaians, listen to this. It's shocking. Even before this letter will arrive at Lamens, and before the fine will be paid, the FDA Chief Executive Officer, that same day, 29 December, writes another letter to Lamens, discussing with them shelf life extension of the Moshosho white rice. Can you believe that? Same day. They haven't even paid the fine. What is so special about this company?
So
why is it that
the letter about the shelf life extension of this particular one was
it's dated 29 December. The day the company was fined, and you didn't even know whether they will pay or not. And indeed, the company paid, it was 3rd January that they said they will pay half. But before then, the FDA had begun discussions about shelf life extension. Let me read, because of time, let me just read the last. It says, with regards to the best before date, as stated on the product, the FDA is, however, unable to grant your request for a shelf life extension since the authority cannot determine the shelf life of the products. Shelf life determination is the responsibility of the manufacturer and must be based on the data obtained for shelf life studies conducted on the product, counting on your cooperation. Yours faithfully, Dr. Delise A.A. Dako, Chief Executive Officer. The paragraph before says that kindly note that an analytical report on the food product you submitted from the Food Research Institute has been reviewed. It, however, does not include a report on moisture and mold, which are also critical in making regulatory decisions in situations like this. Samples of the product were also sent to the FDA laboratory for analysis. It indicated at the time of testing to be wholesome. Please find attached the certificates of analysis. And the analysts at the Food and Drugs Authority who signed these examination results are Bright Abibio Mensah, Marian A. Comey, and Joseph Ofosu Sian. Their signatures are here. The high insect infestation and the high fat acidity. The FDA examination certificates. These are the officials who signed it. They're here.
And even after this, they did not issue any directive to the company to halt the distribution of this.
By the time this test result, look, so many funny things happen. By the time these test results arrived on the 6th of February, the rice had been distributed to the schools on the 1st and 2nd of February. And then guess what? This laments letter that they are sharing to media houses, saying that even for the distribution, they got permission.
Yes. We have a copy of that.
You have a copy of that letter.
The laments.
Have you paid attention to the date? February 9th, when the rice had already been illegally sent to the schools. On the 1st and 2nd of February. They were now applying to the FDA on the 9th of February. And let me read the letter. It's signed by David Ajefi Mensah, the Chief Executive Officer of Lamens. Chief Executive Officer, Food and Drugs Authority. Dear Madam, request for rebagging and supply of Moshosho white double polysorted rice. Indian rice, 25% broken. I'm writing on behalf of Lamens Investment Africa Limited to request your assistance in facilitating the rebagging and supply of the remaining quantity of Moshosho white double polysorted Indian rice, which currently bears a best before date of December 2023. As per the approval letter, reference number dated 15 January 2024, Lamens Investment Africa Limited has obtained shelf life extension approval from the Food and Drugs Authority until 30th April 2024 for the aforementioned rice product.
That's the Lamens letter.
Yes. This extension aligns with regulatory standards and ensures the continued quality and safety of the product. However, despite the extension granted by the FDA, we have encountered challenges stemming from public perception, potential political backlash, negative media reportage, and the need for extension explanation to certain state institutions such as Parliament. These factors have necessitated our request to repackage the remaining rice from the original sack, which bears the best before date of December 2023. We understand the importance of upholding consumer confidence and compliance with regulatory requirements. Therefore, we kindly seek your assistance in expediting the process of rebagging and supplying the remaining quantity of rice, ensuring that it meets all necessary quality and safety standards. Your prompt attention to this matter will be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Please do not hesitate to contact me if you require any further information or clarification regarding this request. Can you believe this? The impunity. Meanwhile, by 9 February, all the rice was gone. They thought that we would not intercept all these documents from the schools.
So the rice was distributed before the
Before
request.
1st and 2nd of February. Check the St. Monica's, check the Presec.
And
check,
this Lamens letter is what's on the screen. Let's flip to the
can you believe that?
The first page. Let's flip to the
and
first
to even
page.
have the audacity. Look.
So indeed,
people of Ghana
was dated February 9th.
Yes, February 9th. People of Ghana, Lamens is not a charity organization. We pay them good money, millions of Ghana cedis, to give us quality rice. And then this company decides that they don't want to make losses. They must profit at all costs, make money at the expense of the health of our children. And then they have the audacity. Look, Alfred, how many times haven't you seen FDA people go shut down businesses, collapse people's business because they are having products on their shelf that have gone beyond best before date? How many times? And then you have this company is being treated as if they own the country. A company which should have been blacklisted as far back as 2021. On 20th December, they were caught having rebagged 15,000 of the 22,000 bags criminally. Then, even before they will get the so-called approval, writing on the 9th of February, pretending that they are now seeking approval, all the rice had been distributed. I mean, can you believe that?
Sir, the two are now in Papa. See her, the set. Men how share video na say me and J whom the number wo fa na contact here na your more direction no meaning say at the papa bia e be bo ho da we for Ken TV bia no ye ka se eye nokore a ya hwehwe ma hunu nti e na ye bo ho da we enti nyame adom ye ma me nso so no o support Kennedy compare kwa Japan or you business woman enti mo ye nyina ye support the business women omo support Kennedy Japan na omo business no enkoso enti we de ni die kwanso me nsa da me nsa yam se open konwa set atop agu fee anase wadwumam eye E&J home decor we dey fa number na frɛ the be more direction but the own person be ba ha mpo a ya nkasa de begu ka mu na ya be abrɛw menim sɛ we are for Ken Ghana for we beboa ama ye ma me business no akoso for any enquiries we dey fa number no we are for Ken you say ade a ye bo ho dawro bia no eye papa asemba come and hold us responsible.
So once you say same if you Royal Gallery wo opekuma and into jema me number no ni ndin kita wo DM 0537 314546 0537 314546 na man na me de atuja amount from ma me no ni ndin kita wo de so person ye say wo ba no mfanya na yo flo and I say ye say wo ba no mfanya bibibia e fa na nanom ne ehema asem ho and dem e kan for Royal Gallery e de amount say from no no ndin kita wo de on be say wo ba no so de ye bibi e wo school and I say mpo wo to e de amuna wo nua e wo amunane and I say wankasa wo to na wa ton baby biala wo biala free delivery baby bia wo won sebeka so wo Ghana ha so wo amunane baby bia wo bia wo fra maami a wo ni bedin kita wo de na wo so be siesie na wo ba no na wo aye fe ye papa.
The foundation of every kid's education is important to every parent. That is why Leap International School is here to give your kids a solid foundation. The school that cares about its environment and seeks to transform it is one that cares about the education and well-being of its kids. The school has a playing ground, a bus to convey the kids in and out of school, as well as a well-furnished facilities and resources to groom the kids to future leaders. Not forgetting the well-learned teachers that are patient with the kids to ensure understanding is easy. They are located at Amanfrom off the Popasi Amasaman Road. For more information, call 0246 928 031 or 0246 098 067. Be part of a school that leads, learns, evolves, acts, and develops through sound education. Leap International School, the next leaders.
School na batan biara de ne baro ko hono ni yo. Oye Rainbow Montessori International School. Rainbow Montessori International School. What you from Krachi? Because the SHS. The Rainbow Montessori International School from ana. What been wrong? Osane what the Montessori curriculum in a syllabus. No what the children are. The teachers wo hona. When you know why degree holders what the abutana badoyan what the trauma from anadio. Na Rainbow Montessori International School. Wakitaba funyoman what the trauma from anate. It's your mama from an not doing boy wrong. Wakita ultra modern science laboratory, computer laboratory, library and research center, art and sculpture laboratory, hygienic canteen, now for a clinic. Namoye Nika 1 point there. Rainbow Montessori International School. Or your boarding house. Into Unfahu baby Awabiara. Wawa from Batuma school. Unfound there Watakwa, Takrade, Elibo, Cape Coast, Accra, Kumasi. One boarding house facilities now. Or your modern standard. Now wash for papa. It's your house master and house mistress. What you want to a boarding house no? It's your new Robiara, Bambo, another security in the sure. And if we were from Anabra, the Ebu Rainbow Montessori International School, it was Takwa in Soyem, opposite police station. It is said Obama Rainbow Montessori International School. To what you nada? Was an Obat Shana the Papa, Emanazamsna, what Channel 111. It's a quad mission form. It was Hantaman Raban, Watakwa Soyem branch, Frayane 0277 100 823. Rainbow Montessori International School. In Moframa one that in a one fapim, Oshasuaha. It's a Hana Bartan Biara, or the number from a river.